Xander Holt here. Welcome to the Rock Hard for Life Kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how to make a quick and easy slow cooker recipe that myself and my clients are using to help boost testosterone, lower estrogen, as well as increase bedroom performance biochemicals. As a single dad, I find it challenging sometimes to have the time to make sure I am ingesting the things I need to, the healthy foods, to allow my performance to last a lifetime, right? It's rock hard for life. But that's really important. So that's why I'm doing this slow cooker recipe. With this, what you can do is in the morning, like as my child's getting ready for school, it takes 15 minutes. I just chop the stuff up, put it in the slow cooker, and then when it's time for dinner, it's ready to go. Dinner's ready to go. No need to even think about it. Super simple to do. I'm gonna show you how to do that. First of all, you don't need a Instapot. This is an Instapot. I really like them because they do more than just slow cooking. They do pressure cooking. They do all kinds of things. This one even has an air fryer. So that's why I got this particular one. But you can use any kind of slow cooker or crock pot. You can get it for like 30 bucks, you know, that have like the low and high settings on it. If you want to spend a little bit more and get one that has a timer on it, and then it's a little bit more set it and forget it, right? You just put it on. This one has a timer on it. So when it's done, it just turns off and goes into warm mode. Okay, then you're good. So let's go into this here. We're going to start here with the cabbage, because cabbage is a cruciferous vegetable, and cruciferous vegetables are really important when it comes to lowering your estrogen levels, because they have something in it's called DIM. And DIM supplements don't work nearly as well. The research behind them is not as well. You want to get it from whole foods. So we're going to do this so that you can experience, you know, that rock solid bedroom performance and finally feel that confidence that you can perform naturally. These meals really help with that, particularly over in the long run, because we want to build a strong foundation, right? It's an ecosystem that is behind our bedroom performance. Not just one thing, it's an ecosystem. And this really helps build a strong foundation for that ecosystem. So we're going to start by cutting up this cabbage. Now this is an organic cabbage. I do recommend getting organic if you can. What I do is I just cut it in half, like so. And then start to shred it. And that's pretty easy to do. What you do is just cut it into small slices like this. And you don't have to get, anal about this. Just get them cut up, because when this gets cooked up, it's going to be a nice, good, sort of hearty meal. Okay, so this doesn't have to be perfect. But the DIM is very important in the cruciferous vegetables because your body produces, particularly if you have excess body fat on it, something called aromatase enzyme. And that enzyme is what's responsible for turning free testosterone into estrogen, which you definitely don't want. Free testosterone is only, if you're lucky, 2 to 3% of your total testosterone is free testosterone. Just 2 to 3%, and that's the testosterone you can actually use. For some people, it's less than 2%. So this really helps when you have cruciferous vegetables to inhibit that aromatase so it doesn't convert your free testosterone into estrogen, which is what you want, right? You want, the more free testosterone you have in your system, the easier it is for you to use it. So cruciferous vegetables are very important for that. Now, one thing to keep in mind with cruciferous vegetables, though, is they can kind of mess with your thyroid, interfere with thyroid function. So in order to prevent that, you want to make sure you have iodine in your diet. Now, I don't recommend iodized salt. I recommend real salt, which we're going to be using in here, which is an unprocessed salt. It has lots of trace minerals in it, electrolytes. But it doesn't have iodine. So you need other sources of iodine. Now the nice thing about this particular recipe is it's got onion in it. And onion has iodine, okay? So it helps your body utilize these cruciferous vegetables. All right, so I'm gonna take the lid off this. And this particular Instapot has a pot that this goes in. So actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this pot out and we're just going to put it all in here. Okay, so we start with our cabbage. Get that all in. And this is going to be nice and tender when it cooks all up. Okay, I'm not going to be super neat about this because I do this quickly in the morning. Very easy. It's very easy to clean it up too. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put in the tomato. So what I'm going to do is slice these tomatoes up. What I like to do, I've already washed these. These are organic tomatoes. And I take the top off it. These are tomatoes off the vine. But you can use any kind of tomato, and you don't necessarily have to use organic. Organic's better, okay? It's got more nutrients. It doesn't have the pesticides. By definition, it can't be GMO. That's the only way you know something for sure isn't GMO, if it's organic, because the food lobby has made it so that you don't have to tell people if you're eating GMO or not. So that's another reason I like to do organic. But when it comes to foods, produce is not as important. If you want to do conventional, you can. It's more important that you have really good animal products if you're going to use animal products, which I'll talk about here in a second. But let's slice these up. So an easy way to do it is, if you can see me there, is to just sort of make some slits, but don't go all the way down to the bottom. Okay, like so. So I'm just making these slits. I'm going to dice this up. And then you just cross-hatch it. Go the other way. Okay, so it's still being held on to by the bottom of the tomato. And then we'll do one more. I'm not a chef, okay? But it's very important that you get at least some basics of cooking food so you can, take care of your health, particularly, your bedroom performance, which is what this is all about. All right, so I'm gonna cut that up. Like I said, I'm not a chef, so it doesn't have to be perfect, right? Just get it basically diced up. All right, I'm gonna cut another one here. Same process. So as I'm doing this, I'll just let you know lycopene is one of the ingredients inside of a tomato. And there has been different studies on this, helping prostate health, helping overall sperm quality, as well as testosterone levels. Oh, there is some controversy on that though. Some shows it increases, some shows it decreases temporarily, but it's temporary even if it is decreased. What it does, however, has been shown is that it's definitely very helpful for your overall sexual functioning. So, and there's a study, one of the more recent studies done on rats here in 2020, showed not only did it increase testosterone, the opposite of what some people are saying, but it also increased testicular size in those rodents. So, if you're interested in that, this might be good as well. And when you're cooking tomatoes, you get more of the lycopene in your system because it breaks down, the cooking process breaks down the cellular wall and allows you to absorb the nutrients, the lycopene and the other nutrients much better when you cook the tomato. Now another thing with tomato is it's high in vitamin C, and so is cabbage for that matter. So with the high vitamin C in here, it's really good for your overall blood vessels. It's a strong antioxidant. It helps with blood flow. But also, this dish has garlic in it, which I'm about to do next, I believe. And when you combine, garlic itself boosts testosterone, but it also, if it's combined with vitamin C, it increases the nitric oxide production by 4-fold. So 4 times as much nitric oxide production from garlic when you combine it with vitamin C. In this particular dish has both vitamin C and garlic. So that's another reason why it's a really good bedroom performance booster, in addition to the testosterone boosting and the estrogen lowering aspects of this. Okay, this is my last tomato. So basically this is 2 pounds of tomatoes. And 1 head of cabbage. So I just put it all in here. I'll stir it up at the end. Okay, quick and dirty here. All right, so next we are going to do, yes, the garlic. So with the garlic, I got 3 cloves of garlic. What I like to do is just take the knife, put it on top, sort of push on top of it to kind of squish it a bit, which makes it a lot easier to get the skins off. So I've got a trash can right here. I'm just going to take these skins off, and there you go. It's really simple. So take this off, peel off. Now garlic, once again, great food for men in particular. It's great for testosterone levels and, like I said, nitric oxide production. It's also really good for your immune system, blood flow. It's just overall a superfood. So if you'll see on the ends of these, you know, there's a little portion here where it was connected to the overall bulb of garlic. So I just cut that off because that's a little rough. Okay, cut those off, and then you just take your garlics and you mince it, and that's pretty easy. You know, just chop it. What I like to do is kind of make slices first, like so. Okay, be careful not to chop your fingers. The knife should go down your knuckle, okay, not onto your fingers. And then I'll slice it the other direction. And then after that's done, I'll just chop it. So you just basically hold on to the knife and just go like so. It doesn't have to be, you know, super fine or anything like that, because it's going to be cooked up and the flavors are going to leach out into the rest of the dish. It's going to be delicious. And then once that's done, you just put it in like so. Man, it's already smelling good. Now, the next one is we're going to go into the onion. Now, the onion, once again, as I mentioned before, here it is. Mentioned before, is a source of iodine, but it's also a great testosterone booster. So it's, once again, you know, it's a male superfood. This thing's just full of male superfoods, right? And it's healing to the gut, which we'll talk about in a second, which is really important for your overall bedroom performance. Gut health is so important for that because of the endothelial lining of the gut. It extends down into the endothelial lining of the blood vessels. So if your gut's inflamed, your blood vessels tend to get inflamed, which is not good for your erections. And also, if your gut's inflamed, it activates your immune system. And anytime your immune system's activated significantly, it lowers your testosterone, and it prioritizes, however you say it, it puts on the back burner your reproductive system, right? Because your body's main objective is to keep you alive. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make, kind of similar to the tomato, I'm going to make these lines. Actually, I'm going to do it like this. Make these lines in here, but don't go all the way down to the bottom, right? So that it holds on to it, right? And this makes it easier to chop. Okay. And so anytime you're making cruciferous, which I recommend you make a lot of cruciferous because it's very good for you. I'm going to chop it this way. Have some sort of food that has iodine in it, like onion, for instance, which is one of my favorites. One of my all-time favorite things ever is sauteed onions. I love the way that smells. I love the way it tastes. And then you just chop it down like that. It's pretty simple. Okay. Another great thing about this, you know, when you learn to cook for yourself, you can cook for other people too. So you're on dates or whatever, you have a date over to your house, you can make the meal. Okay. Now this can cause you to tear up, so that starts happening to me. I can already start feeling a little bit of it. Once again, I'm not a chef. I'm not perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just get that food cooking up so you can eat it. Make you better. Make your performance better. Woo! All right, I'm feeling that. Some of these bigger pieces I'm just gonna chunk. All right, get all the onion in here. All right, very good. Okay, so looking good. All this thing is almost filled up. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna put in the Italian seasoning. Yeah, that's correct. So I've got a thing of Italian seasoning somewhere here. Where did I put it? There we go, just organic Italian seasoning. They have different blends, whatever you like. I like this particular blend by McCormick. So it's a tablespoon of this. So I take a tablespoon here, that in. Okay. And like I said, this makes a really hearty meal. I really love the way this tastes. If you ever had cabbage rolls, it's kind of like cabbage rolls in the flavor and the texture, but a lot easier to make than cabbage rolls. All right, then we want the apple cider vinegar. Actually, before we do that, I'm sorry, I'm gonna do salt and pepper. So salt and pepper to taste. So what I like to do is the pepper, for one, not only do I love black pepper and the way it tastes, but it helps you absorb the nutrients better in your body. So feel free to pepper it, quite a bit. I don't overdo it. At least I try not to overdo it, because my daughter, I got a 13-year-old daughter, does not tend to like it real spicy. So that's why I do that. All right, and then salt and pepper to taste. Now I like to put in 2 to 3 teaspoons. 3 teaspoons is a tablespoon, so I'm gonna put in a tablespoon of real salt. This is not table salt. This is Redmond's real salt. This is what I recommend. Minimally processed, full of trace minerals and electrolytes, and helps also with the nitric oxide production in your body. Plus it's delicious. So we got that in there. Now we're gonna put in the apple cider vinegar. So shake it up first. Now I recommend when you get apple cider vinegar, get it unpasteurized with the mother. Now this is being cooked, so probiotics probably won't remain, but it's still, you can use this. I like to drink this raw a lot too, because it really helps with your overall gut health, blood sugar levels, fat loss, all that stuff. Okay, 2 tablespoons of that. And let's see what else we got. Okay, the last 2 things. Here we go. This is grass-fed ground beef. Take a look at that. Okay, very important that you get grass-fed. Grass-fed is way more nutritious than conventional meat. Okay, for one of which it tends to have about 5 times as much omega-3s in it. The fat content is much better. It has more CLA in it, which is really good for you. And this is a pound, by the way. A pound of this goes in. And it doesn't have the antibiotics and growth hormone and all that other crap that if you get that conventional meat, you end up eating. Okay, this is way, way more nutritious than standard ground beef. And you can just get it, this is just like over at Kroger. You just get it over in the section, you don't even have to go to Whole Foods. Okay, so I got that in. Now the one thing I like to add to this, which I didn't get out, is bone broth. Okay, bone broth, once again, it's full of nutrients and things that are really difficult to get from other sources. It's got glycine, it's got arginine. It is really great for your overall gut health. It helps decrease inflammation, particularly when you're eating just animal skeletal meat on its own like this. It helps a lot if you add some bone broth, because some of the stuff in bone broth or organ meats actually help decrease inflammation that can happen just from the meat itself. Now, what we want to do is put in a cup. I'm going to put in 1 cup. I don't see my measuring cup, so I'm just going to take a regular cup and put it in. So 1 cup of bone broth. Okay, this is beef bone broth. Okay, really, really good for you. Put that in, put this in, and we are good to go. Now the next step is just stirring it up, and I think you can see it pretty good from that angle. So what I'm gonna do is get myself a spoon here. You can actually even get your hands in there as long as they're clean and mix it up. But that's the next step, is all you're doing is just stirring all this stuff up, right? Just making it to where, you know, it's a good overall mixture. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then we'll get this started. Okay, I got this stirred it up for a couple of minutes. Okay, it's ready to go. We just put it on into our slow cooker and put the lid on. And then here on the front, there's a slow cook on this particular one. Hit start, and that's all there is to it. Now, when I get home tonight, I'll have a fresh cooked meal that my daughter likes to eat too, but it's also a great androgen booster and bedroom performance booster for me. So it's healthy foods, but it's particularly good for males. And if you look at, this is basically what it's gonna look like when you're done. This is a bowl of it here. Super delicious. I love this stuff. It works really good. Let me know how it works for you, how you like it. Please post any of that below in the comments. You'll notice that when you cook it, it's gonna come to about half the size it was, but that's normal. You're just cooking it down to a nice, delicious, male boosting dish. Hey man, I hope you got a ton out of this segment of the Erection Boosting Slow Cooker video series, where we are diving deep into fast, simple, and delicious slow cooker recipes that help us restore our birthright of having natural, long-lasting, stage 4 rock-hard erections. If you'd like to get free access to the entire Erection Boosting Slow Cooker video series, make sure you click the link in the description of this video to register for free access to all of these life-changing videos in this series, along with some other surprise bonuses. Also, if you like this video, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe button, and turn on your notifications bell so you get all of the future value-packed videos just like this that I will be releasing for you to help you be the best version of yourself and have natural, stage 4, rock-solid performance. I will see you tomorrow in the next Erection Boosting Slow Cooker video.